it's kind of like, oh, we don't talk about it and we don't really know what to do about it and Google it.
In general, I don't think women are told anything. It's like, just shuffle along, Grandma.
No, I was actually joking that I know more about prostate cancer and erectile dysfunction than I know about menopause.
Nobody talks about menopause in my culture.
No one tells you anything about it.
It's not something that's discussed in my family.
I never did talk about it with my mom.
And especially in England too, it's the whole stiff upper lip, you know, you grin and bear it.
And then I have my aunt who always says, don't talk about it because you'll lose your man. And, you know, it's like, wow.
I grew up in a house with 5 other women, and all I knew about menopause was it was called the change.
I love that, the change. We gotta change the story of the change. I just copyrighted that.
As a South Asian woman, or just as a woman, we don't talk about this. And so my mom never spoke about it, my aunts, nobody. And so I thought, I need to break that mold.
Yes. And I think there is something, you know, that's really baked into our culture about what our value is as we get older. You know, all bodies that reproduce, that once we can't do that, that somehow we're not valuable, that we don't have anything to offer.
Or less attractive,
or
less desirable. Yes. I mean, one of my great colleagues, Dr. Suzanne Gilbert-Lenz, said that menopause is the child of ageism and misogyny. So we have so much to change in terms of the attitude and belief. And so much of that is generational.
Women in their 70s, I mean, because of the way they've grown up, they don't like to talk about it. So the other day, I ran into this 7-year-old lady that I know, and she said, "Oh, Shab, you look so tired." And because I didn't sleep the night before, right? Because menopause. And I said, "Oh yeah, well, you know, I didn't sleep very well because, you know, menopause." And I started laughing and she went, and then she walked away, and I thought, wow, like she doesn't like the word. It's uncomfortable for her to hear me say that I'm struggling with menopause. And I thought, wow.
If we can't talk to each other about it, yeah, that's a problem.
Menopausal women represent 20% of the working population, right? And I can tell you I have story after story of women coming in to say, you know, I have these hot flashes, my face turns red and I sweat and my hair is wet and I'm in a board meeting with all of these men and they think I'm like this crazy person. And, you know, women are suffering in silence.
Yes. And there's so much fear around it as well, right? Being afraid to admit it or talk about it. And I think it leads you to not know what's going on.
I had to learn on my own and just keep talking about it and just keep sharing all of the different symptoms. And look, to be a brown girl on social media with the platform that I have, to be talking about a dry vagine, you know what I'm saying? Like, yeah. It's embarrassing. It's embarrassing. I get embarrassed talking about it. But what else are we gonna do? We have to talk about it, and we have to talk about it openly, so it's okay for everybody to talk about it.
Yes. So changing the messaging is part of changing the taboo. Nothing's taboo about menopause. 100% of us are gonna go through it.
Yes.
So we can celebrate it. I think we should be having post-menopause parties. Why not?
Yes.
Celebrate, burn
like
the tampons.
Like a sweet 16 or a quinceañera. Yes, we should be celebrating it. I love that.
A lot of cultures do, so I think there's something about our culture and the standards and expectations, especially of women, that we need to change that. I love an uprise, I love a revolution. I think the more that we talk about it, the more we change the healthcare system, the more we advocate for ourselves. And we have a lot of resources now. Let's use technology to our advantage to find voices like yours and yours online to be able to get the information we need. So that gives me a lot of hope for women. We're not suffering in silence anymore.